Let's get right to the point. Chase just unveiled a 100,000 point welcome bonus on their Sapphire Preferred card, a card that has only had this kind of offer once before in its entire history. Now, I understand that credit cards are not for everybody, and some people, they don't even care about credit card points for using them to travel. However, in this video, I'm going to break down how to use this incredible sign-up bonus no matter where you're at in your credit card roadmap. Whether you're someone who doesn't plan on traveling, only wants to travel 1 to 2 times a year, or someone who wants to get the most possible value out of every point for aspirational redemptions, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that coming up next. Now, I believe there are 3 different types of people when it comes to credit cards. As I hinted, there are people who aren't really interested in traveling and therefore don't have much use for a typical sign-up bonus. And then there's others who want to travel 1 to 2 times a year and are looking for simplicity and some cool experiences. And then finally, there are those who dabble in the upper end of the spectrum, the maximizers who want to get everything possible from their points. I'm going to use this video to share exactly how I would redeem Chase Ultimate Rewards points for each of those different types of people, depending on what they like the most. However, there are 3 fundamental things to know before getting the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Number 1 is know your Chase 524 count. The Chase 524 rule states that if you have opened 5 credit cards on any issuer in the past 24 months or 2 years, you will automatically be denied when applying for a Chase credit card. Business cards and cards you're an authorized user on, however, do not count towards this total. Number 2 is only 1 Sapphire card at a time. This means that if you already have the Sapphire Reserve, you will not be approved for the Sapphire Preferred. And finally, since this video is all about the welcome bonus, it's important to note that if you've been approved for a Chase welcome bonus in the past 4 years, that's 48 months since receiving that bonus, you're ineligible to get another bonus on a Sapphire card. Now let's get right into the good stuff. How I would maximize redemption methods through Chase for the different types of credit card users out there. And we're going to start right at archetype number 1 for the person who doesn't really travel and doesn't have a need for a travel credit card. I think there are 2 types of people who could fit the non-traveler archetype. First of all is the person who just doesn't hit the road and therefore has no use for tracking credit card points. Or it's the person who is in the credit card game, but they have a really strong team cash back setup and aren't worried about getting flexible currencies either. Well, those things are fine, and ultimately how you use your credit cards is up to you. However, here's a few ways I would still get pretty instant value from this offer, even if I fit into one of those 2 types of people who are non-travelers. First of all, let's look at converting points to cash back. One of the best benefits of going with a Chase card is that at minimum, your points are worth 1 cent each. That means a 100,000 point welcome offer, which you'll get after putting $5,000 of spend in the first 3 months on the card, is going to be worth $1,000 in cash. Now you can redeem this 2 ways. 1, Chase can deposit this into your associated checking account that you have with Chase Bank, or 2, you can apply the same methodology and redeem your points as statement credit to effectively erase purchases on the Sapphire Preferred that you've already made. Now, since this is focused on non-travelers and we're really cutting out a lot of redemption options here, the very last way I would recommend to get surplus value from this sign-up offer is actually diving into the gift card side of Chase's redemption portal. Now, normally there would be no benefit of getting gift cards over getting pure cash back or redeeming for statement credit. Those first 2 options give you flexibility, and with credit card points, flexibility is key. However, some people understand they're going to spend money anyways, and with gift cards, there are opportunities to get even more bang for your buck for a rotating group of gift cards that Chase offers at a discount on their site. For example, when I look at the current lineup of gift cards that Chase has on sale, I could specifically target a PetSmart gift card and turn 100,000 points into actually $1,111 in cash value buying gift cards on sale. Now, in my case, this could be beneficial because I have a dog that goes through an unbelievable amount of food and toys, and that will never change for the foreseeable future. I'd eventually have to spend that money in cash, and I may as well get surplus value taking advantage of purchasing gift cards while they're on sale for that spend. Overall, while I don't fit in this specific archetype of person, The non-traveler can effectively, for just $5,000 of spend and an application going through and getting accepted, get a $95 annual fee card for around $1,000 to $1,100 in value. I think if you ask pretty much anybody, they're gonna say that turnaround is worth it. Now let's talk about archetype number 2, the moderate traveler. Now personally, I see the vast majority of people who actually fit into this category. They're somewhere between a non-traveler and the extreme that we'll talk about in archetype 3 at the end of the video. They like to take 1 to 2 trips a year and understand the value of credit cards, helping them either discount or fully pay for those trips, and just need the right start to get themselves going in that journey. If you're this type of person, I actually recommend the Sapphire Preferred as the card for you, welcome bonus or not. That's because it is a good travel card with very solid protections. And one little secret I'll let you in on, this card actually is basically a $45 annual fee card once you account for the $50 hotel credit that you get on your first hotel purchase inside the portal every year. If you fit into this category, you're looking for ease of use and simplicity in getting your travel booked. That's why I'll recommend redemptions inside of the Chase Travel portal. Now the key here is as soon as you earn your welcome offer bonus, you're going to see those points tabulate in the top right corner of your Chase Travel portal. They also may be front and center when you go to book hotels or flights. Now you get to see your points and the real-time valuation of those points as soon as you enter. The great thing about the Sapphire Preferred is you get an automatic 25% boost on the valuation of those points when you redeem them inside of Chase Travel. So where the non-traveler can only get about $1,000 to $1,100 in value, depending on how they decide to cash this out, the moderate traveler, well, they're looking at $1,250 of instant travel value when redeeming inside of Chase Travel. Just to show you how far you can kind of stretch this, I created a trip for myself, flying out of my home airport in Kansas City for a week-long stay in Charleston, South Carolina. I could book a round-trip flight inside of Chase Travel for 18,589 points on Delta that gets me from KC to Charleston and back. Now Chase Travel has pretty much any hotel lodging option you would see in any other third-party booking service. And I was able to find a Hyatt place in North Charleston, fairly close to the airport, for 7 nights and 55,860 points. Between the two of these, I could have paid a cash price of $849 to take that 7-day trip myself. Or I could take from the value of the sign-up bonus and spend 74,449 points and still have about 25,000 points left over after I booked that entire trip. That goes to show you the simplicity and also the value that Chase gives their points and how easy it is to cash that in for real experiences. Now, I want to take a second to remind you that if you're finding this video helpful, or you think it may be a benefit to somebody you know out there that fits in one of these categories so far, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel yourself for continuing knowledge about how to maximize your credit cards, or send this video to a friend. I appreciate both so much and they'll greatly help the channel. Now let's look at archetype number 3, the travel maximizer. You probably know exactly where we're going here, but this is the type of person who travels quite frequently and also likely has the goal of taking their 100,000 ultimate rewards points and getting a valuation closer to 2,000 or even more from those points when redeemed for travel. To do this, we're gonna have to work a little harder, taking advantage of Chase's transfer partners. However, I wanna show you 3 of the best ways to get some of the best value possible from these points and where I would personally start if I wanted to take some of those dream aspirational trips. Let's talk about Hyatt and their World of Hyatt Partner Program. Now, this is the easiest transfer partner to get extremely good value from. I always start my search using Hyatt by Googling the Hyatt Hotels and Resorts map, which pulls up an actual map with dots labeling every single hotel and resort in the Hyatt network. Now, Hyatt splits their award charts into hotels, categories 1 through 8, with 8 being the best and 1 being on the lower end, and all-inclusive resorts, going categories A down to F, with F being the very nicest properties they own. Now, the best bang for your buck in cents per point can typically be found at the higher end of the redemption spectrum, but that's not always the case. So feel free to look around and try to book the redemption that meets your vacation needs. Now here's a look at the Impression Moshe by Secrets, an incredible Category F redemption property located in Cancun, Mexico. Now remember, this is an all-inclusive resort with a cash price that even in a standard room will run you over $1,000 a night. For most people, this is going to be well out of a budgeted vacation price range. However, using your Chase Ultimate Rewards points and sending them over to the World of Hyatt program, you can redeem the sign-up bonus on your Sapphire Preferred for 50,000 points a night to get you into this hotel. That's 2 nights that'll get you started, and once you complete the spending to earn that welcome bonus, you're probably most of the way towards a 3rd night there. Now the great thing is there are also additional strategies for you to keep the party going and earn more Chase Ultimate Rewards points. If you want to watch, I've created a whole separate video telling you the best 10 methods you can do to earn points as efficiently as possible to keep this going. Let's look at a second partner, which offers incredible value on discount flights over to Spain and the rest of Europe. You can find these on Iberia Plus. Now, before I show you some of the more common places you can find value within this program, I'd highly recommend, if you're looking for airline transfer partners, to go to my website, linked below in the description, where I have a transfer partner guide, which makes this all very simple. Now, back to Iberia Plus. You can find a few sweet spots in this program. Booking cheap flights using Avios over to Europe, usually out of East Coast airports, typically New York and Miami, can be very popular spots to depart from. For example, looking at a round trip flight from Miami over to Madrid, you could pay a cash price heading outbound of $693, or you could transfer those Chase points over to Avios and redeem that leg of the trip for $27,750. On the way back, the flights are even cheaper, with a flight from Madrid back to Miami for about $313 in cash, or 21,250 points. Altogether, you could pay a cash price of just over $1,000, or you could transfer your sign-up bonus over to the Iberia Plus program and redeem that for 49,000 points. On that redemption, that gives you a cent per point value of 2.05, even better than anything we saw before, redeeming in one of the simpler methods inside of Chase's own portal. Now, you can sometimes find even more value with Iberia Plus, as Chase pretty frequently includes Iberia in their transfer bonus program, meaning your points can be worth even more when sent over there. I'll throw a link in the description for automatic bonus offer notifications, so if you have Chase points and you want to be notified when these bonuses come up, just make sure to put your email in there for automatic alerts. Now finally, I wanted to find the sweet spot for those of you who have always dreamed of flying that international business class flight, but not having to spend hundreds of thousands of points to do so. Now occasionally you can find that sweet spot you're looking for through Chase's transfer partner, Air France KLM Flying Blue. Here's how this works, and note, you're gonna have to be flexible. For example, again, leaving in an East Coast city, heading over to Europe. You can sign up for an account, hop on the website, and find a midweek flight from JFK over to the Paris airport, which would be a cash price of $2,308. Now we're looking specifically at business class, and KLM Flying Blue has in their rewards program a 60,000 point redemption plus $227 in taxes and fees. Now, how valuable is this? Well, we can put it in our cent per point calculation formula to see that this is a redemption valued at 3.47 cents per point, over double what you'd get in Chase's own portal, and much more than you'd find almost anywhere else. Now, when I researched these type of flights, the one note I do want to make is that if I were planning a trip to Europe and wanted to maximize valuations from my Chase points, I'd probably start with my flight first and then book backwards my trip activities from there, making sure I'm locking in one of my highest expenditure areas and able to use my points efficiently to get the best flight possible. Now, the last thing to share, no matter what archetype you fit into, that's super important to understand about this bonus, is to always have an exit strategy. With Chase, the good news is, unlike American Express or Capital One, there are readily available options. Chase has 2 different downgrade options from the Sapphire Preferred. After a year, you could go the direction of the Chase Freedom Unlimited, a $0 annual fee card, or the Chase Freedom Flex. Now note, the process of going about this is, if you get the Sapphire Preferred, don't really feel like you're getting value from it, or hey, you were just using it for this welcome offer and then you're ready to pivot, make sure to hold the card for a year, and then after that second annual fee hits, call in Chase to product change and downgrade the card, and then ask for a refund on that year 2 annual fee. Remember, downgrading is a benefit over canceling. If you cancel, that will impact your credit score, while if you simply product change and downgrade the card to a $0 annual fee one, that won't have any effect at all. Now, I hope you see that there's really something for everybody right here. Now, no matter what your style is today, I hope this video was a catalyst to help you maximize the most you can get off of the Sapphire Preferred and this once in a very long time sign-up bonus. Please let me know if you've got any questions and I'm happy to help, and I'll see you in the next video.